For number 14, it says that if the length of a rectangle is 5 inches less than twice its width, and then we also know that the perimeter of the rectangle is 32 inches, then the question is asking, what's the length in inches of the rectangle? Well, the usual strategy of solving a word problem is that we will have to take all these information and change that into equations, solve the equation for the desired variable. So let's take a look. Because we are talking about rectangle, we might as well look at a rectangle first. And also that the first sentence is going to help us set up an equation. So here is a typical way to draw a rectangle, and then we're talking about the width and the length. And then the keyword right here from the first sentence is the length is 5 inches less than twice its width. How can we change this into an equation? Well, this is how we are going to do it. First, it says that the length, so I can label this with L, and this is the typical way of writing L in math. Don't write L like this, otherwise it looks like what? It looks like a 1, right? Anyways, this is L, and then is means that we have the equal sign. This part is a tricky part. It says that 5 inches less than twice its width. In this case, we actually have to know how big the width is, and then we have to multiply by 2 first. We are going to put down 2 times W, twice its width, 2 times W. I'll put that down first. And then, because here we have the less than, we are going to subtract. And then here it says 5 inches, so I'm going to subtract the 2W minus 5, like this. The idea here is that if I said I am 2 years younger than Bob, and Bob is 30, then how old I am? Well, I have to take 30, that's the age of Bob, and I'll take away 2, and I'll work this out. It's 28, right? So this is the same idea. If it says 5 inches less than twice its width, we have to know how big this is first. So that's why we'll put down a 2W first. And then because it's less than, I'm going to put down subtraction, and this is the 5. Bob is 30 years, and I'm 2 years younger, so 30 minus 2 is 28. Okay, that's the idea. Anyways, this is the connection between L and W. L is equal to 2W minus 5. And now what else do we know? That was the first sentence. Let's look at this sentence here. Well, not really like a sentence, but a part of the sentence. It says that the perimeter of the rectangle is 32 inches. What does perimeter mean? So this is the idea. Perimeter means that if you start with the corner of a rectangle and if you decide to run around the rectangle, so you go here, 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 and then go up back like this. You travel around the rectangle exactly once. And then how far have you run? That's the idea. Here is L, this is W, and then if you travel from here to here, that's another L, and if you travel from here to here, that's another W. This is also a formula you can look at. The perimeter, I'm just writing down P for that. The perimeter, we know this is equal to L, but then you have to do it twice, right? Travel from here to here, and then also back from here to here. You run this through the L twice. Therefore, that's going to be 2L plus, and then I run down here, that's W, plus another W, that's what? 2W. This is also like a formula if you remember. The perimeter is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. And then we are going to put all the information that we have together. First, he says that the perimeter of the rectangle is 32 inches. This is 32. So that means the P will be 32 that we know right here. So I'll put down 32 for P. And this will be equal to 2. But instead of L, I'm going to open a parentheses, and then I'm going to put in 2W minus 5 word. Why? Because I cannot have an equation has L and W at the same time. I can only have one unknown in an equation. So instead of the L, I'm going to put down 2W minus 5 right here. And then I'm going to keep the plus 2W. And then as we can see, this equation only has W as the unknown. And let's go ahead and solve this equation. And the key is we have this parentheses, we will have to do what? We will have to take this 2 in front of the parentheses and then distribute it inside. Let's work this out. Here we have 32. This is equal to 2 times 2w, that's 4w. And then we distribute, so remember to multiply 2 times negative 5, that's negative 10. So we have 4w minus 10. And we also have this 2w, so let me bring down plus 2w like this. Well, what can we do with this? Look at the right hand side. We see we have the 4w plus 2w. We can combine terms. We will do that right here. And 4w plus 2w, that's 6w, and then we have the minus 10. Okay, and now keep the 32 on the left hand side. Well, we want to solve for the w, 6w minus 10, so let's plus 10 on both sides. Let me write it down better for you guys. Plus 10 here and plus 10 here. The minus 10 plus 10 cancel each other out, and we end up, this is 32 plus 10, that's 42, is equal to 6w. And here is the w, right? This is 6 times w, it's equal to the number 42. To solve for w, we will have to divide both sides by 6, so that this 6 and that 6 cancel. And let me write this down in the usual way. Namely, I'm going to put down the w first, and I put down the equal sign, and I'm going to work out 42 divided by 6, which is going to be 7. However, 7 is not the answer, because the question is asking us for the length. W is 7, doesn't do us any good, because W stands for the width. Well, it's not like it doesn't do us any good, it's just that we are not finished yet. Why? Because we know the connection between L and W. L is equal to 2 times W. Now we know what the W is. It's 7. So I'm going to plug in 7 into this parentheses, and then based on this connection, we will have to subtract 5. Let's go ahead and finish this up, and we can finish this question. L will be, we'll do the root of operation, right? So we worked out the 2 times 7 first. 2 times 7 is going to give us 14, and then minus 5. L is equal to 14 minus 5, therefore we know that L is equal to 9. This is the answer to the question, because the question is asking us for the L, the length. Therefore, the answer to that is going to be B, 9. That's it.